I love you, you hate me. The wild, explicit, and dark untold story of Barney. I don't think an entire documentary about an overly large purple Tyrannosaurus with Colgate veneers meant to entertain the kiddies was on your 2023 pop culture bingo card. But alas, here we are. Barney, they coming for you, sis. Despite being the animated embodiment of joy and happiness, supposedly some people weren't here for Barney's permanent purity. Back in the early 90s, Barney the purple talking dinosaur broke barriers in children's programming, captivating audiences globally. But what exactly lies beneath this seemingly simple and lovable persona? The 2022 Peacock documentary, I Love You, You Hate Me, took us on a behind-the-scenes story of Barney that had more plot twists than an episode of Lee Daniels' Star, delving into previously untapped aspects and exploring the unseen, dark challenges faced by its creators. However, what lies beneath the surface was a disturbing tale about the man inside Barney and the homicidal events leading to a high-speed chase and a murderous, sad ending of Barney's masters. This is the wild, unhinged story of Barney, the predatory dinosaur. An amicable dinosaur was the brainchild of Sheryl Leach, a former teacher with a master's degree in elementary education. It all began in 1987 when Sheryl, motivated by the lack of educational content for her son, felt the pressing need to create a television show that would be simultaneously entertaining and educational for young children. She believed that children learn best when they're having fun, and there could be no better way to deliver that than through a character children would love and connect with. Thus Barney was born, a friendly, singing, and dancing T-Rex who taught children valuable lessons about friendship, sharing, and caring. Barney's charm was immediate. His distinct personality, coupled with the lively, catchy music, took the world by storm. The preschoolers were obsessed. The adults, not so much. We have the likes of Coco Melon and Bluey taking over the toddler landscape, but before the mass flood of children's TV, there was really no staple children's character that the kids could turn to without adult influence, influencing the development of children's television programming for decades to come. The initial vision for Barney was quite different than what ultimately made it to our screen. Sheryl Leach originally conceptualized a talking teddy bear as the show's protagonist. This idea was soon replaced by a dinosaur, inspired by her young son's deep fascination with the prehistoric creatures. The project was financially supported by Leach's father-in-law, an owner of an educational publishing company who gave her a small loan of a couple racks, who also roped in Dennis DeShazer, a talented video writer and producer from SMU, as well as Kathy Parker, a children's educational television producer and writer, to form the original creative trio. And before we knew it, production of a new TV series, Barney and Friends, was in the works. Each 30-minute episode was structured around a group of children conjuring up a teachable moment or scenario, which Barney would address through song, dance, and storytelling. Just 6 weeks after its premiere in 1992, PBS contemplated canceling the show due to underwhelming initial ratings. However, a closer look revealed that Barney and Friends had quickly become the network's highest-rated children's program. Consequently, the show remained on air forever, changing the landscape of children's television programming as we knew it. Barney and Friends went on to become a cultural phenomenon that transcended borders. Airing in April 1992, it quickly gained worldwide traction and acclaim for its unique approach to early childhood education. Each episode cleverly integrated crucial life lessons into catchy songs and engaging storylines, making learning an enjoyable experience for young viewers. The show's cast, a diverse group of children who were Barney's friends, helped reflect a sense of inclusivity and community. This, along with Barney's ability to transform ordinary events into imaginative adventures, a concept that we'd later see with children's franchises like the iconic Backyardigans. Barney's magical escapades became Sheryl's tool to turn everyday lessons into exciting adventures, and the overtly large dino, born from a mother's love, grew to become a household name in children's television, impacting millions worldwide. Barney and Friends also served as a launchpad for several young talents who have since become well-recognized faces in the entertainment industry. Among these are pop sensations Selena Gomez and former bestie Demi Lovato, who both got their start on Barney and Friends, where they first got the opportunity to showcase their acting and singing abilities. Children, parents, and educators alike found common ground in the shared enjoyment and appreciation of Barney's upbeat antics and educational content. But amid this vibrant world, a darker narrative lurked. Naysayers pointed to Barney's overly simplistic view of the world, suggesting that it could inadvertently shield children from the realities and challenges of life, arguing that by portraying an idealized world on a show meant for preschoolers in grades 1st through 3rd, children might be ill-prepared to face real-world issues, such as conflict, disappointment, and failure, on a show meant for preschoolers in grades 1st through 3rd. Furthermore, some parents expressed concerns about the show's repetitive song formats and Barney's high-pitched sing-song voice. that they found unbearable on a kids' show. While Barney was a beacon of positivity and learning for many, it also raised questions about the balance between entertainment, education, and reality in children's TV. The man behind the dinosaur, David Joyner, donned the Barney suit for a good decade, bringing the character to life with an unceasing enthusiasm and dedication that endeared him to children everywhere. Side note, did y'all know Barney was black? Joyner's role wasn't just sporting a costume. It was about embodying Barney's spirit of love, joy, and friendship. Despite the physical challenges of the bulky suit and the hot conditions on set, Joyner always maintained Barney's infectious energy and positivity, becoming an integral part of the magic. But of course, we can never just have nice things, at least not for long. Rumors sparking a less than cheerful hue to the otherwise colorful landscape of Barney's team, began seeping through the cracks. Some rumors hinted at the show being a front for some suspicious activities, while others suggested that the cast members, including the lovable Barney himself, were not so friendly off-set. These rumors seem to stem more from a mix of media hype and parental skepticism than any verified facts. At the end of the day, Barney, under the lively portrayal of David Joyner, continued to dance, sing, and bop his way into the hearts of the kids. Another wild rumor swirling around claimed that Barney was moving that dough. All that love and kumbaya made Barney tired, and what better way to decompress than to sniff some of that snow? Allegedly, Barney was involved in drug use, and the illicit substances were hidden in his tail. He kept that thing on him. Or in him. Although some would like to believe that there really was a side to Barney we weren't seeing, there is no substantial evidence suggesting that David Joyner or any other person associated with the Barney production was involved in drug-related activities. As far as the public record shows, Barney's tail contained nothing more than stuffing and love. Born and raised in Decatur, Illinois, David Joyner had a knack for entertaining people from a young age. Before landing the role of Barney, he worked as a software analyst. His passion for performance led him to leave his corporate job and pursue acting full-time. Despite the furry purple exterior, the voice within was always Joyner's, a voice that continues to echo in the hearts of those who grew up watching the show. David's road to becoming Barney was not an easy one by any means. Originally auditioning for the role in 1991, stepping into the oversized purple shoes to replace Barney's original costume actor, David Voss. Interestingly, Joyner was initially cast as the understudy. The lead role was initially given to another actress, but she struggled with the physical demands of the job. When it became apparent that the lead actress couldn't cope, Joyner was thrust into the spotlight. He officially took over the reins, becoming the Barney we all know and love, or hate, today. Even after David Joyner left the regular cast of the Barney series in 2001 to pursue other acting endeavors, he maintained a strong connection with the character. His departure from the series did not signify the end of his journey as Barney. He continued to breathe life into the beloved dinosaur during occasional appearances until 2005. He made a brief return to the role in 2008, much to the delight of Barney fans worldwide. Joyner's charisma and talent weren't strictly confined to that hot suit. In 2006, David stepped into another hot, musty costume. Who's next? Becoming the energetic yet equally frightening dancing bear known as Hip Hop Harry. Created by Claude Brooks and Cindy Sheehan, Hip Hop Harry, a children's television show, aired on Discovery Kids and TLC. A departure from Barney's gentle charm, Hip Hop Harry was all about teaching the kids the hottest urban dance moves, all while educating the youngins. Taking inspo from Sheryl Leach's idea of Barney originally being a fluffy teddy bear. David jetting off to Los Angeles was an escape from the Barney gear. However, perhaps David was attempting to escape the murky hidden horrors behind the overall premise of the Barney. Ever heard of Barney bashing? This term refers to the negative view and derision from Barney from adults and older children who proclaimed Barney gave them the ick. In 2001, a significant event added fuel to the Barney bashing fire when a humorous website published a cheeky guide called 150 Ways to Kill the Dinosaur. Designed to poke fun at the show, this guide took the Barney backlash to an extreme, catching the attention of Barney's creators, and it led to increased tension around the show's public reception. It was such a significant incident that it prompted the show's producers, including Sheryl, to take legal action against the website. Even as Barney's popularity soared, various hate groups emerged. Online forums, even merchandise, portrayed Barney in a negative light. Many of these groups used humor to mock the show, producing satirical content such as songs, stories, and videos to appeal to their like-minded audience. When David Joyner went on to disclose his profession away from portraying Barney, the hate groups kicked it up a notch. Not only was Barney satirically nonsensed and a nuisance, according to them, but now he was seen as a whole predator. A tantric massage therapist, a professional who practices tantra, an ancient Eastern tradition that seeks harmony between the body, mind, and spirit. In other words, it's a sensuous experience that combines traditional massage techniques with elements of meditation, breathing exercises, and yoga aimed at awakening the body's centers, promoting deep relaxation and a sense of holistic well-being. In other words, you get a massage with a happy ending. All sounds good on the surface, right? Well, for Joyner, who charges around $300 a session and only takes on female clients, the anti-Barney crew were not here for the so-called holistic masseuse, where one even learns and studies to become a thing. Well, we have no clue. David maintains that he always practiced a form of tantra during his time as Barney, claiming that the energy he harnessed in his new career is the same unconditional love that he portrayed as Barney. Despite this unusual career pivot, Joyner's role as Barney and his subsequent vocation do not detract from Barney's impact. The initiation of such hate groups marked the early onset of what we now recognize as cancel culture. Barney bashing catapulted hate and cancel culture to the forefront of mainstream culture. It's fascinating to see how what started as a seemingly harmless critique of a children's show eventually paved the way for a more significant cultural phenomenon. A notable example of anti-Barney hate group was the now defunct I Hate Barney webpage, a gathering place for older kids and adults who, for various reasons, took issue with the purple dinosaur, filled with parodies, satirical songs, and even games. One of the first well-known anti-Barney songs was Tony Mason's Barney's on Fire, often miscredited to Weird Al Yankovic due to its humorous and satirical nature, was an explicit expression of the growing sentiment against Barney. Yankovic, known for his parody songs, quickly denied any involvement in the song's creation. Tony Mason's song, like many other anti-Barney content, represents a subsection of the audience who responded to Barney's character in a markedly different way than Sheryl Leach might have envisioned. An anthology comic book entitled Kill Barney in 1994, comprising short stories and one-page strips illustrating the death of Barney, leading to the release of a second issue a few months later, aptly titled Kill Barney Again. Despite Barney's immense popularity with children, the backlash had a profound impact on its creator, Sheryl Leach. The widespread anti-Barney sentiment, coupled with the harsh criticism and parodies, took a toll on her emotionally. Birthing from her imagination and intended to be a beacon of joy was now a figure of ridicule. It pained her to see her creation, so full of positivity, become the butt of jokes and even hate campaign. The stress of it all led her to distance herself from the show and the character. In the midst of the Barney-related turmoil, Sheryl Leach's personal life was also marked by tragedy. She'd wind up divorcing her husband and struggling with the balance of her professional commitments and personal upheaval. In a disturbing turn of events, Sheryl Leach's ex-husband later would be found deceased. Turns out, he tragically took his own life. The tragedy underscored the difficult times Sheryl was traversing, grappling with personal loss on top of the public criticism related to Barney. Sheryl's own son, on the other hand, Patrick Leach, who'd grown up in a world where Barney was a household name thanks to Patrick himself, faced his own set of wildly disturbing challenges. In 2013, he faced legal trouble when he was suspected of attempted murder. Although we can't directly blame Barney for the psychological disturbance of Sheryl's son, some believe that the potential bullying he faced, due to not only being the son of Barney's inventor, but the sole inspiration behind it, aided in Patrick's downward spiral. Who would have assumed being linked to Barney would lead to shooting your neighbor? Residing in the rich corridors of Malibu on a seemingly ordinary day on January 9, 2013, an ordinary dispute escalated into a horrifying incident. Living with his fiancée and 2 children at the time, a then 27-year-old Leach found himself entangled in a trespassing disagreement with his neighbor, Eric Shanks, taking a lethal turn when gunshots echoed through the quiet morning at 9:30 a.m. Shanks was discovered with a gunshot wound to the chest. Police quickly intervened, arresting Leach on a $1 million bail after hunting him down, with Leach taking them on a high-speed chase, giving very much OJ in that white Bronco. Armed with body armor and a bulletproof vest, police eventually caught up with him, and he'd end up pleading not guilty, managed to post bail, and return to the comfort of his Malibu mansion. His victim, on the other hand, wanted every bit of that Barney money. Shanks went on to sue Sheryl Leach for her negligence, claiming that she shouldn't have let Patrick have a gun, knowing his violent tendencies. And apparently at the time, Patrick was living with his mom. The concept of Barney was simple and wholesome, a friendly singing dinosaur who taught life lessons to kids in a fun, engaging manner. The unexpected twist, however, came when Barney, intended as an emblem of happiness, became a target of global scorn. Parents and Barney bashers deemed his content too simplistic, his character too sweet, and his songs too dang repetitive. One of the earliest instances of a public figure being collectively canceled or shunned by a large section of the audience for, well, no real reason. The hate was so pervasive that it consumed what Barney stood for, overshadowing the positive impact he had on many children's lives. Despite the wave of negativity, it's important to remember that Barney, at his core, was an innocent and well-intentioned creation. Sheryl Leach developed Barney with the noble aim of educating young children through song and play, a method perhaps too simple for some adults to appreciate, but perfectly suited for its intended audience, toddlers. His song, I Love You, You Love Me, meant to instill values of love and friendship, was heavily criticized. However, the simplicity of Barney's character and his songs were strategic, designed to capture the attention of young minds and teach them foundational values. Contrary to the backlash, Sheryl received numerous accolades for her work, reflecting the positive impact Barney had on millions of children worldwide. She was awarded the Film Advisory Board Award of Excellence and the Parents' Choice Award for Television for her outstanding contributions to children's programming. The public condemnation that Barney faced can be viewed as a misplaced judgment. Overall, Barney's show was a safe, friendly environment for kids to learn and grow. The man in the costume's outside profession shouldn't take away Barney's main goal, to spread love. Ultimately, it wasn't Barney who was at fault, but a society quick to critique without fully understanding the intentions and the audience it was meant for. A society that once thrived on the 90s aggression and teen angst of misplaced anger and hatred, and a society who took pleasure in adultifying creations meant for children. The story of Barney is a wild, explicit, and dark tale meant to shed light on how something so pure can be used for something so sinister. A tale we're all too familiar with. Were you aware that there's a dark side to Barney? Let us know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments, and stay tuned for more true celebrity stories.